And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony's Picks. I'm Ramon Scott, and welcome to the morning steam for Monday, December 4th. We've got NBA in season tournament action and breaking news to start us off the morning here on the morning steam. Hey, this is what we're all about. This is why we're here, and hopefully, you start your sports betting day with me each morning here to give you the latest news. And here it is. Well, the Boston Celtics are on the move. It's steam time right away. Just moments before I went on the air here, the Boston Celtics are taking action from the betting public here early this morning. What was a 5-point favorite? Looks like it's gone to six here, you guys. The Celtics are taking action in the first ever NBA in season tournament game tonight against the Indiana playoff game against the Indiana Pacers. So, what do you guys think about tonight's two matchups in the Eastern Conference? And who's going to get their chance to play for that big $500,000 prize? I know a lot of people down on the in-season tournament, but I think they're in the. I don't know. Can't say anybody who's right or wrong, but it's going to be deemed by the league overall to be a success and not going away certainly. And we'll see tonight with our two games here, Boston and Indiana, New Orleans and Sacramento, and we'll preview them. We'll talk to you guys in the chat. Thanks for stopping by today after an NFL Sunday. What did you think of the results yesterday, and where do we stand? And let's not bury the lead. We got our four teams for the college football playoff. It feels dirty. It feels uncomfortable. There's nothing we can do. We can only pick four teams, you guys, and I tried to argue with some people last night. They wouldn't have any of it. They knew I was a phony. You're probably picking the four best teams to go into the playoff. The most deserving? That's arguable, certainly. You feel bad. You feel just heartbroken for the Florida State Seminoles. All you can do is go out there and play your games, right? I mean, if the format was to win all the games and then that would be a rule. They hire a committee to try to determine the validity of the four teams, and the committee, you heard what they said. It sounds like the fact that they don't have a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback in there and basically having to roll with a third string quarterback that, well, look, they won their game. It certainly limited their offense considerably. If they were a great offense before with Travis, yeah, they were really, really good, especially in their league, which was down and maybe isn't the best league of all those leagues. If you look at the teams that are in the college football playoff, it's two teams from the SEC. It's two teams from the Big Ten. That's what it is right now when you talk about, hey, those conferences, the Pac 12, the teams that are moving out, they're done. The conference seasons are over. We're kind of in the new conferences now to a certain extent, kind of like the bowl season, right? The bowl season isn't about the 2023 football season. The bowl season is about the 2024 football season. And maybe that's what the playoff is about here in the final format with the four teams. We won't have to worry about this anymore. We'll put teams in. We'll put Liberty in. We'll find some team to run the schedule in the non-powers and stick them in to go up against an Alabama and lose 56-14 every year. And we'll say, oh, that 8 versus 1 game or whatever it is, always crazy. Always kill them. Uh, so we'll see, but we do have the lines. Let's just discuss them. I think. Let me say hello to some folks real quick. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. A couple dozen of you here right now, and we'll start the show in a little bit. Previewing today NBA in-season tournament. Of course, 5 games in the NHL. I'll have one in college basketball. Oh, and there's a Monday night football game. Doesn't quite work out for us. I think the NBA in-season tournament, hey, could be a little bit more intriguing than Monday Night Football. Hard to argue that. So we'll talk about that. And let me say hi because I see your comments now starting to roll in with my my friends. Thank you. Here's Chad, and he says it's going to be an underdog day in the tournament. Well, so far, Chad, the Sharps here are thinking it's the favorite. It was kind of interesting to see that move coming in here. I'm showing now 5.5 and sixes right now in the game tonight. Did see it touch six, bought right back, and the total here has been going up again as well on that, up a couple of points here. So, and Thomas is here. Like it, smash it. The 40,000 subscriber juggernaut Tony's Picks YouTube channel with programming today from Mindy Hahn, Tiffany Mance, Midday Plays, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, followed by Tony's show with his predictive modeling, sponsored by the Rhythm app. And then, of course, it's Tony with the Pick Dogs crew, the drive through, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Get you well out of there before the top of the hour and get you betting those prime time games. As Tony likes to say, thank you to Thomas. Hello to Gerardo. And Gerardo, hey, thanks a lot, Gerardo. Yeah, I hit 4 and 2 on my props over on the on that show last night. I had kind of took some square spots maybe to think that I was on. Of course, talk about Monday Night Football and uh, yesterday, of course. On that show, I gave out some props in the game itself. We did give out the Green Bay Packers here, of course, on the show, and I had a funny, Gerardo, my intro. They bring you on the show, and I said, you know what, I'm 55 years old, single, never been married, no kids, no wife, no girlfriend. I'm married to the game, but I'm not going to give up on love. I'm not going to give up on Jordan Love. And you guys have been with me since day one. I don't think I've given up. I think I've been honest in Love's assessment. I think I was critical when he was struggling, but I basically said the Packers aren't giving up. Maybe for 1 or 2 weeks, there was some feeling of reassessment, and we're not putting Love as a savior here, even beyond this year. He's earning the job. He'll be the quarterback here of the Green Bay Packers until further notice. But last night I gave out Jordan over passing yards, Christian Watson over. I also had the under with Patrick Mahomes as well as a prop winner. And also I had the on the show gave out, of course, the Packers. We did like the under in that game, and that one got away from us just by the end there. But what did you think last night of the game with the Packers? Any problems here with the Chiefs? We'll talk about the Sunday card here in just a second. Hello to Thomas. Again. And Fernando's here. Doubles. Good morning, William. Solo, right? We don't have much going on today. And Stephen, nice to see you. How you been, sir? And maybe we'll cover just a little bit of the card from yesterday with some of the results. How did it go for you guys? Okay, so let me just recite these lines real quick then. Sometimes it hurts not to have a script here jumping all over the place. But let me just talk about the games, of course, for the final two, the semifinal college matchups here, just to discuss them and let you know the lines. I mean, I think everyone's had an opportunity to see them now, but still important to discuss nonetheless. The two matchups and maybe what you guys think here. Nothing we can do now, right? I mean, the matchups are set, and Florida State, obviously, and Georgia. Don't forget about the Georgia Bulldogs, just one of the best runs in college football history, having won 29 of their last 30 games. They're not in the playoff either. And of course, they would have been considerably favored over Florida State. I just tried to argue the case with some of the guys on the show, and maybe my fake raising of the voice and clapping and trying to egg everybody on because I thought it was the hottest topic of the day. And we'll see what uh, you know how it goes. I mean, should be a great playoff. Certainly, nobody's arguing that. Should be some awesome games with Alabama and Michigan. Michigan is the 1.5 point favorite in that one. The total 46.5. Texas and Washington, Texas, a 4.5 point favorite, and the total 64. We know moving on from there. The matchups, you know what? The Bulls, maybe the playoff will shake things down a little bit more when we get to that format because I mean, some of the matchups are going to be obvious when you talk about. Everybody said, "Hey, matchup Florida State and Georgia. That makes sense." Okay, Oregon and Liberty. All right, give Liberty a chance here to compete. Ohio State and Missouri, Penn State and Ole Miss, Clemson and Kentucky, Arizona and Oklahoma, USC and Louisville. These are some of the matchups. The one that Wisconsin and LSU. Gonna try to get a little better situation there. But anyways, bowls are set moving forward. The lines are all out. We'll cover them in the weeks to come. Certainly, but also, can we touch on the NFL with the big game and the Eagles and the 49ers and Niners? Man, they just blitzed them on down the line. They got their revenge. Yeah, I was thinking that getting the points, give all the credit in the world to the Sharps. Hey, it was plain as day. One of those where usually I will say, look at this. Makes no sense. Road team favorite. They had the revenge. They did the job. The Niners scored on 6 straight possessions. 30. Purdy, Purdy's just average, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Debo, big game, 2 touchdowns. Niners 9-3, Eagles 10-2. Can they track them down here in the final weeks, or will they have to go back to Philadelphia eventually? Because I don't know. Do you really see Dallas? Do you see other teams competing? I think maybe so. But how about in the AFC? We'll see tonight with Jacksonville if they're for real. But uh, some of the games yesterday in the AFC to consider, of course. Start with Miami maybe a little bit because of their great role right now. They did crush Washington, Tyreek, Tua and Tyreek. That is a deadly combo that you often see from Super Bowl competitive teams. So Miami moves to 9-3. Colts over the Titans in overtime. Pretty exciting game there. Will Levis looked pretty good, but it was Uncle Rico, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 100 yards, but had a concussion, and the Titans had some miscues because of their punter getting knocked from the game. A couple of block punts, a touchdown off a block punt. Couldn't the holder, Tannehill was in there holding. They missed the extra point. So, Lions beat the Saints, got the money for the most part. Some people might have been laying 5.5, but the Saints took all that late money. Lions get the money for the most part on the road. Sam Laporta approaching rookie tight end records. This guy's the real deal. And when you got players like that, you're the Lions. You're the real deal. Lions continue to roll. Falcons and the Jets. We said it would be some kind of weird score, right? We said it would be 15-13, 13-12, 11-10, something. And there was 13-8. I think that qualifies. Falcons, 4 sacks, 3 takeaways. It wasn't about the defense. It's the ineffective Jets. They can't even score a touchdown. Arizona over the Steelers in the big shocker. It knocked out a lot of those survivor pool plays, I think, in that one. James Conner returns to Pittsburgh, his town, right? I mean, how Pittsburgh can think they let him get away. He still has a little bit in him, and he looked great. Doesn't hurt to have a couple of rain delays in the middle of the game kind of throw off the rhythm, and you just keep holding on and building a lead a little bit. Arizona gets it done. Houston over Denver. CJ Stroud looked great. Lost his good wide receiver, but he's got another one in Nico Collins. I mean, Houston is just uh, impossible right now. This is going to be a great program moving forward. It looks like they've got something going. They had 3 interceptions, of course, against Russ, but hey, Houston is fun to watch, man. They're 7-5, and they are the spoiler, aren't they? Tampa Bay over Carolina in a push. Of course, come on, Baker, Evans. You knew that combo was going to be hot in that game. Bryce Young, not necessarily effective. He got sacked 4 times. Rams over the Browns. Amazing when you think about, yeah, the Rams crushed them. Stafford, fine game. Uh, the Browns, that defense, that's a little bit suspect. But when you bring in a guy like Flacco, you immediately can go to a spread that's going to throw 44 times. They probably weren't going to do that with DTR. They probably weren't going to do that with, PJ. So you bring in Flacco, but it does change the dimensions of the game too a little bit. Now, granted, they might have lost even worse with one of those pedestrian quarterbacks, and the game might have been, something like 31-14 or 27-10 or something like that. So you roll the dice a little bit, but if it gives you a little bit better chance. I mean, Flacco didn't look great. He didn't look terrible, but it looks like a better option to bring in one of these veterans sometimes and trying to grind a little bit. He's ready to go. That's what I said on the show yesterday. Yeah, we took the Browns, but I don't think it was wrong as far as the way they were going to approach the game, bringing in Joe Flacco. Remember, he hadn't been there for 1 week. He'd actually been there for a couple of weeks. So we did have some premium winners yesterday. We had the Chargers and the Patriots. I, could talk about my Chargers, but wasn't thrilling. 6-0 over the Patriots. The Patriots setting record lows right now for offense. This is just unbearable right now for the Patriots. The Chargers win 6-0. We had the under in that one. We also had winners on the show. We had that Falcons Jets game to go under. We also had a premium winner on Arizona Pittsburgh under. We gave out the Cardinals here on the show. We also had a show winner with Carolina and Tampa Bay to go over. And we also had here Broncos Texans premium winner under. We also gave out the 49ers and the Eagle game over here on the show. Browns Rams over was a premium pick winner. And of course, we did give out the Packers. All right. Head back over, talk to you guys a little bit, and preview our games for today. We have here we go. Where did I leave off? How I want to say hi. Want to say hi to Timmy Two Shoes, of course, here today. Yeah, maybe the Packers, a little fun team, I thought. And Ray, that's our pick. So that was kind of a weird thing, right? Because I said yesterday, not talking about pumping up the Niners in that game. I mean, I bought into it. I was like, I'll take the 3 points. Thank you very much. It'll be a close game. The revenge was too much, but part of the preview for me was the Niners are probably going to go on and win the Super Bowl. They're the best team, but coming in here to win this game on the road, so should have. Usually, I'm a lot better on that spot. Oh, Chad, thank you. I want to talk about this real quick before we get into the show, before we get into the previews. So, okay, we're going to be taking underdogs. That's what we want to do. We want to be sneaky. The public is all about the favorites. The favorites are crushing right now, everybody. The favorites are 20-8 against the spread over the last 2 weeks. Lay those points is what it's right now for the season. It's favorites. 101 wins, 86 losses so far if you're laying those points. Um, so right now, it's a little bit public-y, and I've got another stat for you in tonight's game coming up. So stay tuned. We're just minutes away from that preview. And love, right? Sometimes with some quarterbacks, it is a matter of time. It is feeling comfortable. And Ninja says, are the primetime under games to balance out going to start going over? I don't even know if we can get there if they went over uh, from here, but it sure was a nice night last night. I talked about cold temperatures and possible snow flurries. Never looked because you could see it on that other field out there, the Titletown field. You could see just a little bit of snow just off to the side, like it already blown away a little bit. It wasn't ever going to be a factor. It looked like a beautiful night, quite frankly, for football players out there. So I don't think so, Ninja. I think the public will still always favor the overs at this point. I believe one of the underlying factors in the whole thing, because of the margins being so close, is that maybe the explosion of gambling could just keep the totals up a half a point, 1 point, just because of Joe Square wanted to hit that over button. And it almost still stayed under last night. And yeah, maybe it's an easy handicap sometimes. I mean, I try to make sure it's still the same matchup. Sometimes on these unders, when I haven't been as confident, I go with the pre-play. I still like it under, but we played overs too. All right. Right, and we talked about right, and the other thing we talked about, Chad, was don't forget, Thursdays are a 50-50 proposition right now on the over/under, and by deduction, to me, it feels like because of the rest factor. And Kansas City, yeah, they just no, there's just no doubt that Kansas City has fallen at this point. I don't think we can put them now. The experience factor, don't forget a good record. They'll still play, home games. So Kansas City, all it takes is to get a little hot, right? These receivers got to start catching the ball a little bit. Would help to, if Pacheco, look, it was a good game by Pacheco. Does he look like Derrick Henry? Does he look like Jonathan? No, he looks a little small. You don't want him to get hurt. You don't want to use him too much. He's fast. Chiefs are about that speed. So are the Dolphins. Could it be the Ravens? Hey, the Ravens are great. They're playing well. They're almost overlooked to a certain extent, right? But they have some inconsistencies that are just troubling here. I feel like the explosiveness of the Dolphins. I mean, that looks like when you think of some of the Super Bowl teams of the past, right? And getting the big play, the home run touchdown early in the game, the 70-yard bomb. Sometimes world championship teams can do that, especially if they can do that in the Super Bowl, in the first quarter or something. Those are championship, and that's what the Dolphins look like to me on the AFC side right now. Yeah, they were playing the Commanders, but with my man coach logic, all that speed. Look, the running backs, even though Mostert, he's all washed up, he still goes out there and bangs away with a big game, with a strong game anyway. They've got Achane back, and he looks great. All right, let's start the show. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com to get things rolling. This is when you guys go and pour another cup of coffee, I guess. But I just want to see who did well over at the website on Sunday with our handicappers. We're a half hour in, so we want to get the previews going. But here's Hollywood Sam with that's not right. I mean, it is right. He had a big day in NFL. Mindy Hahn is our leading handicapper, everybody. Shout out to Mindy. Go to her show today. Congratulate her on this performance. 75% for Mindy, up 5 3/4 units yesterday. Terrific job for Mindy Hahn. Joseph Schultz went 5-0 yesterday. Big performance from Joseph. Nick Vartini, he's the face of Platinum Cappers, and he went 6-1 on the day. Hollywood Sam, 70%. They love this NFL card. The VIP account continues to roll. 5-1 record. Here's Tiffany Mance with a 6-3 performance yesterday, 67%. Nick Lagarettos was in the green. Collins Brown and Chauncey Giles won their only plays on NFL Sunday, and Daniel Wolosachuk was also in the green. In the green. Where's Ramon Scott? He went 4-4. All right, we'll get him today with more premiums. Hey, great job, Tony T. He's on top of the handicapper leaderboards for the last 7 days with an plus 852 mark here. Great job, Tony. Ralph Raymond is up there at plus 5 3/4 units. Nick Vartini, he's the face of Platinum Cappers, and he's up 5 units over the last 7 days. The VIP account is up 357 over the last 7 days, and Tiffany Mance is showing profit 3 1/3 units over the last 7 days. Last 30-day leader right now, Daniel Wolosachuk, he's up 17 1/3 units. Nick Vartini is up 11 units. So is Joseph Schultz. Tony T is up 6.5 units, and Tiffany Mance is up 5 3/4 units over the last 30 days. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. I'll be rolling today in the NFL, NBA, NHL, and maybe some college basketball in that light card today. See what is loaded up from the handicappers right now so that we can promote. It's Nick Vartini. He's got a 3-pack of winners in basketball tonight, 2 in the NBA, 1 in college basketball. Best bets from the team tonight are coming, including Tony T in the NFL, the VIP account in the NBA. Ben Ruhala has his NFL best bet. Marlon Pettis, NBA best bet. Nick Lagarettos has an NBA best bet. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to my packages this weekend. We'll make sure we get that Monday card out before your subscriptions run out. If you go ahead and follow my advice to get them after 3 p.m. Eastern and 1 Pacific on Friday, I'll get you those plays today. It looks like about 5 plays. I'm zeroed in on his premiums here today. The premiums are absolutely my best, and that's why they're on sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. I play the landscape. I play a lot of games, but my best plays, those are the ones I want you to know about, and the ones I'm playing the most. So it's just to support me here on the show. Don't, if you want to buy my picks, please consider doing so. But more so, it supports me and keeps me coming back here each morning to hang out with you guys. A few more comments, and I'll get to those previews. All right. Steven says, how about it? Ravens and 49ers for the Super Bowl final. I think I just called it. I think I'm going Dolphins and 49ers. They had a pretty good Super Bowl one. Well, no, it wasn't good. 49ers killed the Dolphins in Dan Marino's only Super Bowl appearance. But that's my pick right now. All right. Anything else, Jimmy? Hello, nice to see you. Hey, great to always see. And of course, on NBA tournament day, we're going to have Nathaniel Nalgucker in here, of course, ready for NBA play and in-season tournament tonight. And Ninja's ready for the Thursday night game. Hey, get it now, right? Get the under now, Ninja. We might see an Army-Navy total on this one. You got Zappy in there. You've got MVP Mitch in there. All right. Great. Tony had a great day, huh, Mike? Awesome. Yeah, he did. Okay, I'm ready if you are. Looks like everybody's had a few comments. Thanks a lot, you guys. We're ready. 4 dozen of you in here, and I'm ready to start the show with the previews for the day, the games. And Rod, do you remember the Super Bowl with Rod? Remember the Super Bowl and the Ravens and the 49ers, and the power went out in the middle of the game? All right, there it is. There's Chad talking. Oh, I got to go football first. I'm going to go to football first, you guys, of course. I think the NBA in season tournament games are actually the featured games today, just considering the Bengals are not doing too well right now. Let's get it started with the Bengals and the Jaguars here. So I teased you. I said I've got to, just talking about the favorites necessarily here in this one. With the Jaguars a double-digit favor, right? And the Bengals, maybe the season's over a little bit. They're feeling a little bit defeatist. I would guess at this point. Uh, Coming in here as a 10-point favorite, a little bit of a runaway favorite, even. Yeah, the Bengals. I mean, they could go on a little bit of a run. They could win some games, but gonna have to do it with Jake Browning in at quarterback. Here in this one, with Joe lost for the season, the defense is, it's falling apart for the Bengals. It's kind of like when you lose your leader, right? I mean, the one thing about having a great quarterback, a very, very good quarterback, is it makes defenses, but it makes everybody better. It's not just the leadership or whatever you want to say. I mean, there are leaders at all the positions for the most part on the good teams, but just holding the ball, controlling the game, putting your team in, pushing down the field a little bit. If you have to punt, at least it goes down there and maybe you put them back to their 20 or inside the 20 every time, whatever. Here, sorry, you guys got itchy nose. So, just not feeling real good for the Bengals here tonight, and feels like it's not going to be a very good game. So maybe we should watch basketball. But, anyways, one of the things here. So 10-point favorite here, pretty much across the board. I don't know if there's many 9.5s. So far this season, double-digit favorites in the NFL. 11, talk about the favorites here. 11 wins and 5 losses. That does not necessarily go with what we've seen in the past, right? With the NFL, we think always uh, underdogs and unders, but here it feels like maybe the Bengals feels a little uncomfortable to even trust them here tonight. Uh, let's see what you guys might have here in this, right? I mean, you could get a guy like a fit, he looks like he can still go out there. Those pants are looking a little, hey, the man has some style, I guess, right? Jags to roll, and they are covering machines. Let's not, you know, ignore the fact that they've been such a strong cover so far this season. Getting numbers right. I mean, I think that's kind of a big key to a certain extent, and why they could get the money here in this game. Steven says Jags and under. Could it go? I mean, here we go again with prime time talking about the uh, under trend on Monday Night Football. So, look, we saw an over last night, and it still wasn't until like the last series, right? They had to go down there, and then it finally snuck over. And we in a game where, quite frankly, it could have been going over. It felt like it was going over for the first part of the game the whole time, didn't it? So, again, with the fact that the Jaguars, look, they're not explosive necessarily, right? They're just decent. The defense is really good, continues to improve for Jacksonville, but for Lawrence, he's he's very good, right? He's you would take him over many of the quarterbacks in the league. Um, he's the best of the bunch, no, and there are problems sometimes in the red zone, yeah, for sure. But look, I think one thing he spent Ingram is becoming a pretty serious target right now, and the Jaguars, kind of a team that they kind of look for. Um, it's a team that really has been looking for good targets since they become kind of that team a little bit. ATN, continues to do well. Uh, is he ever going to be that superstar? No, probably not. But for this team right now, ATN does pretty well. Hello to Lucky. Fernando going under here probably as well. And look, I think that's kind of the way this one rolls. That maybe the Jaguars just win a consistent game, get enough points to get it done, and game stays low, and then you're ending up 20-10, 23-10, 24-10, 24-13. Still get you home on all of them, and that would be a sweat. But it does feel like to me, going to be a boring game. I don't think the Bengals can muster quite enough energy here necessarily to get this number. I'm going to go under as the play on the show, even though I'm kind of a guy that's been kind of rolling with those unders a little bit. I missed a couple of them yesterday, and I know it's tough. I rolled with all unders in my premium card for like the second straight week. Well, no, I take that. Well, I'm including the whole day. I mean, we did hit an over as well, so it's not all about the unders. But I know that early card, or I had much more people interested in that early in the 5-game early card, the 5-pack early card, and I had all unders. The afternoon we had one under and a side, and so I ended up with a 500 day, and uh, the ones we hit look strong. Anyways, let's take the under here for sure on the show. And I'm willing to do it, go under 40, 39 and a half, whatever you guys got it at. I'm willing to, go with it here. And I see it the way Steven does. Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah. And even if we're not rolling, at least we're here, right? And you see Jimmy there at Pittsburgh. So we'll see. I thought I just saw some. Let me see. I did see some information just a few moments ago about the game on Thursday night. Maybe some injury information coming across early. I'll see if I can get that for you. But I think the NFL coverage is over. You guys got a few picks in here, but judging from your comments in this one, it doesn't look like you're totally hot on it tonight. And maybe the basketball games will be of more interest here. Bengals, let's see. Jags have won and covered 7 of their last 8 games. The Jaguars have given up just 7 first half points over the last 2 weeks. Caution is that they're not, you think of all their success, they aren't really home favorites too often. They're in a tough division. They've really only become that kind of playoff caliber team over the last 2 seasons or so, right? They've been building towards it. Maybe they're even a little bit behind schedule, uh, but they're just 2-5 as a home favorite since Peterson's come there. That's only 7 times that they've been a home favorite. So now they have to lay 10. So the trepidation from a lot of professionals that I hear is that it's an unfamiliar role period for Jacksonville, not just laying points, but now laying double digits. But again, you look at in the NFL, while we want to always gravitate towards the dog, explaining that so far this season, the favorites, now that's a little bit different than the totals. We were talking about, hey, will there be some regression? I do feel like the underdogs may start to come through here a little bit, especially as we start rolling towards the end of the season. And, favorites maybe become a little bit more heavily priced, heavily taxed, if you will. But 11-5, laying double digits, and people are all, it's almost like, that almost gets the squares a little bit going. Squares like me, maybe, when they see the opportunity to take double digits, and so then Rodney said, "No, okay, see, I now you're right. Okay, so I am square, Rodney." Um, Teasing you, my friend, a little bit, but he says so many people are going to be on the Jags. Okay, I was trying to say, wow, maybe if we get to double digits here, that will pique the interest of the general public and say, hey, I've got to still try it. But you're right. I mean, the ticket counts would indicate that the public is still laying it. I think, and again, take it for what it's worth. I'm looking at a database that has 111,000 bets according to this line service. And I'm sure there's, one guy just trying to fool the 1% of the people, the better, not even 1% of the people with phony numbers or whatever. It's all computerized, man. 70% of the bets are coming in on Jacksonville spread wise here tonight out of 111,000 bets taken by one line service. That's spread over, money lines, totals, and uh, point spread. So, okay, let's get off this game, and good luck to you guys tonight. Enjoy. I mean, hey, it's Monday Night Football, but I will take the under in this one tonight. All right. All right, let's get to the in-season NBA in-season tournament playoffs. Woohoo! And I did take him to task on that show a little bit last night and said, hey, because it seems like a popular, it's almost like 50-50 on these. Funny because you got handicappers, right? Isn't it my interest? What I come on here to do is to turn you guys on, to tell you about the games, how exciting they're going to be. Wow, look at this. Imagine your handicapper coming on and telling you they don't like the in-season tournament. It's a waste of time. It's not, why are they doing this in the middle of the season? And then, oh, by the way, take this team. Don't pay attention. Hey, go away and come back. I think the tournament is cool. It's obviously worked, judging from kind of the um, business experts portion of it. So, hey, if you're one person and you don't like it, you're a statistic too. I'm not uh, dissuading you from your position. It's a valid position. If you don't like it, then the NBA's got to consider that some people still don't like this. But I think it's brought a little bit of something to the action here in the middle of December, early December, late November, early December that we just wouldn't have. And will there be format? This is the first time, and there's some things that aren't right about the tournament. Number one, probably shouldn't do margin of victory as a tiebreaker, right? Nobody wants to see some guy getting fouled in the fourth quarter of a 25-point game to put some crappy guy on the line to miss free throws, so the other team could go down and get 2 more points. But what probably is going to happen actually is the in-season tournament will expand. Maybe not next year. Maybe they'll stay with the same format, but it'll likely go to more games. Just want to test it out here. So they'll have a different way to do a tiebreaker. It might be a head-to-head. Maybe they'll play their division teams twice, one home, one away type of thing, or involve playing more of the teams to get a more fair and accurate balance and representation. So here's what we're faced in tonight's game with the Celtics and the Pacers, right? Yeah, there's some money on the line. You can get to the championship and win this $500,000 prize. Both teams would like this. The Celtics, they've got big plans for this season, right? They're one of the favorites to win the NBA championship here, certainly. Against the Pacers, that, hey, one of the most exciting teams, one of the best spread teams going. They're not going to win the NBA championship. They could win the NBA in-season tournament. They've got the Celtics right where they want them, at home. The Celtics are great. We know the Celtics are terrific. The Pacers are pretty good. They're fun. They've got Halliburton. Everybody knows. It's the secret's out. Whatever. It's not a secret. I mean, a game like this just reeks of Celtics wanting to put on a brave face, wanting to say, "Hey, we want this. We're the best team we can," and I'm sure they will. They could easily come out and be motivated. Maybe they are that type of team. Doesn't feel like it, not with their personalities and not with their, a little bit of inconsistency, I would say, to sometimes. But this is not just some walk in the park game. You're going up against a legitimate team here that's playing very, very well. They're not in the tournament. Yeah, it's a 4-game format. We get that. But, the Pacers did great, and they're doing great this season so far. They've been one of our you know, favorite money making teams certainly here so far. 5-3 against the spread as an underdog. The Celtics 2-6-2 against the spread on the road, and having to lay points here, it just doesn't feel like the right the right thing. I know. I hopefully the Celtics will be popular at the window. What do you guys have here? I don't know. Think I can talk you guys into this. Here's Steven. He says Celtics and over. Mike says the Celtics. Hey, the Celtics are great. Nathaniel says the over is good here. I would contest, and the total's only going up. So I guess I'm missing it here. This is a playoff game, man. This is like a little bit of a mini playoff game in the middle of the season. I would expect them to play a little bit more defense than what we see on some of these Joker games out there that are going for 265 points. So let's see here with you guys. Rodney, smash the over. You guys wonder what the total is now. Yeah, let's update it. I'm sorry, Rodney. Look at this. I mean, what a come on, Ramon. One of the first things you always do is check for the latest line and make sure it's updated. This was the line as of, oh, it's 7 Pacific time here. We had a light card. I got up today at 4 a.m. So typed these in probably 2 hours ago, and now it's up to 243 and a half. Yeah, 243. I'll call it 243. And the Celtics, I think, are mostly 5.5 point favorite here. So maybe it will. Maybe they're going to go out there and have a great time. Say we can just play these games like the other ones. And look, the Pacers have gone over in every game, right? We already know that. I mean, that's one of the biggest stats in the league so far. 16 overs, 2 unders for the Pacers so far. The Celtics are just a 50-50 proposition, really, when it comes to the total right now. 9 overs, 10 unders. But I'm going to take the under because I think I think that there has to be some defensive focus here. I would think. I mean, um, I might even be not on the sharp side here. Let me take a look and see how this movement has gone to the over because it is pretty significant. But there's been plenty of under strength as well, if not from the sharps. I mean, this game has been very very busy for the sharps here in this one, and um, there's as many on the Boston Celtics as there are on Indy. So I'm taking the under. Oh, let me fix the line. There it is. Here it comes. There it is. That's about the current line right there. 5.5, 243. So hey, look, it's going to be good, and this might be better than the football game, I think. So, all right. Yeah, interesting, Chad. That the way you mentioned that because we think of Halliburton, and he is questionable. I mean, we do want him in this game. I do think that. I mean, uh, ex- I think the talk was, expecting it would have to be. It's an illness too, so that does. Some people are different, some things are different, but you don't want to be without him here tonight. And if anything, I could type into the old Twitter machine here real quick. Again, that steam came in, so I don't know if maybe there had been some release of information that has maybe even changed his status. Um, you know, downgraded his status a little bit. Let me see if I can't just see anything real quick here with any information. It might be just a little bit too early. So I don't know why that move came in like that. I'm supposed to know. All right, give me the under in this one. I'm gonna take the teams to play some defense. And Chad says, "Who do you have? Chad the Pacers? No, who do you have? The Kings? What do you have? And man, I just changed my tune. I've been so disappointed with the Kings right now. We'll talk about that game next. Let's see what's going on. Yep. Rodney says, if you want that total, get in now. I want that total. I'm gonna wait. 'Cause I'm going under. Here's Fernando on the Celtics, and he's on the under. Yeah, maybe we have to wait for Halliburton. I still don't necessarily mind the spot. I think if he is ruled out, we'll get a little bit more value here. You do want him though, no doubt about it. Perky's here today. I'm a mumble. I'm going to be a mumble. I can't be. Remember, we had a rapper capper here originally, but he got booted. But mumble rapper, that might be my next gig. Oh, Jimmy. Okay, we'll get there, Jimmy. That's our one game we're going to preview today. Here's Darren. Hello. Right. Steven said, look, how I've been talking about it, how the giveaway is on the, when you see the total over like this, where you're like, well, we just go over because that's the way those games are going. If the total was in this range, here, I guess all I could say about this, Stephen, is the reason why I'm taking the under, again, because this is in the range where in those some of those games I've been going over a little bit. And I haven't been perfect though on some of those, obviously, but this game was never gonna. Well, maybe it will go to 245. Actually, better be quiet. Darren says take the points. Here comes a little bit of Pacers action late. Maybe I've tried to sell you guys on this concept today that the Celtics and you can put on a brave face. Maybe they are just that team, right? They don't even feel like in a championship aspect, right, that they have a killer instinct. Like even when they get to those big games against the Eastern Conference teams, whoever they might be, whether it's the Sixers, whether it's Milwaukee, whether it's Miami, whether who else do you want uh, in there, the Knicks, Toronto, I don't know who else. Nets. Anyways, they don't, they don't feel like, right. We always say they don't have the killer instinct. That is a Celtics big problem. So here, still thinking about the, they want to win it all. Indiana's not going to win it all. This is the chance for a team like Indiana to, do something, right? Be the first champion. Just be a champion. Make the money. It's going to be great. All right. Enjoy the game. Yeah. Porzingis out. And I'll take the under. All right. The other game here was the Pelicans and the Kings. Now you have two teams. Now you can start talking about two team, right? These guys aren't going to win the NBA title either. Remember, I said just a couple of weeks ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to put the Kings. I'm going to bet the Kings here on a future to win the NBA title. I don't think they're going to win the NBA title, but I'll have some leverage if they get to the Western Conference Finals, say against Denver, and I have them at 66-1 to win the. But ever since then, the Kings have not looked good, and have kind of, been dropping. Yeah, they've won a couple, but haven't looked good in those, I don't think. And maybe I won't have that. I've already moved the Kings up. I'm so up and down that crazy Pacific Division. It is wild, right? What's going on right now with these Pacific Division teams. And here you have the Kings and the Pelicans. It feels like a pretty good game tonight in the other quarterfinal here for the NBA in-season tournament. And you got to feel like the Pelicans are playing pretty well here of late, and we should be able to compete in this game. Now the Kings are pretty hot too, as far as I'm down on them a little bit. I'm giving them the business, but obviously for the Kings, this has been a pretty good run. They obviously have a big time star, but so does New Orleans. That's what this game kind of showcases, and that's what the in-season tournament maybe showcases a little bit. And the Kings are coming into this game with a 10-8 spread record, but it's been New Orleans that is just 3-5-1 against the spread on the road so far this season. Feels like they should be able to hang in here. Like this should be an awesome, close, competitive game, but we just haven't seen, uh, the format necessarily, right? So you just don't know. Let's see what you guys have to say here in this one. That's what I said, Mike. I mean, they're like, one popular thing to say about the in-season tournament for the talking heads is, well, these guys are so rich, it doesn't mean anything. Have you seen some of those like tax bill videos that some of the players or have done, right? Uh, they make a lot of money. They pay a lot of taxes. I mean, they're rich. People are rich. People are rich, but we're not all Elon Musk. Pelicans and under here. Here's a Pelicans plus. And that's where the move's been. It opened maybe as high as 5 and has moved to 3.5 here. And I'm going to take the Pelicans in this one to hang in there. I think the Pelicans, they're going up a little bit, and I think the Kings have been coming down a little bit. I think the two patterns kind of intersect here in this game. So, yeah, Kings have definitely been, having some decent run. They did lose the Clippers pretty big, and these two teams just met. Remember back on November 22nd, and New Orleans won that game at home, 117 to 112. The winner of this game has been getting the money every time. So New Orleans was a 1.5 point dog, and they got the money. Remember that? Remember they played 2 games back to back, actually, and New Orleans won and covered both. They won the first one by 36. So we saw talking about the revenge. That was the other game. But they won the first game by 36 and came back and won the next one by 5. All right. And Mike, let's see what else we got here. Kings at home for Ray. And Chad underdog. Yeah, maybe it is. Take these dogs. Poor Sabonis. Everybody's on this guy's case a little bit. And that, he's kind of been the guy that you're going to look at. To me, it's like he's been the one that's kind of been holding us down a little bit, Sacramento. All right. I'll take the Pels in this one. All right. Hey, and don't worry. I mean, there's more NBA in-season tournament tomorrow with the Knicks and the Bucks and the Suns and the Lakers. And then the other teams play some games because, they all have to play the rest of their schedule because all these games count in the standings. So crazy. That's the other thing, right? They could maybe not make these games count, but it doesn't. I don't know. That'd be the other thing. All right, hockey. This is what you came for. That's what we say with the hockey. And let's preview it right now. And yesterday's card, we did have some nice winners here. We gave out Minnesota and the under for a double winner here yesterday on the show. And how about the Kings yesterday getting that win? We didn't give it out on the show. I was just saying I know my Kings are going to win against the Avalanche, and they did. And man, the Kings! It's exciting to hear people talking about the Kings right now. They look like the best team in the league, and people are starting to say that, realize it a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're the best team in the league. I'm just saying that there's it's starting to enter the discussion a little bit. There's a real positive feeling about the Kings right now. Anyways, let's get to today's card. Thanks, Chad. Bye bye. All right. And here we go. We'll start it off with the Kings going. I just want to talk about the Kings. Maybe because they were playing the Avalanche. And, the football game was good. I'd already looked like I'd lost the total a little bit. And I was watching the Kings. I got to admit, I was on that. I was on the show watching the football. I'm supposed to be there, a football expert. And I ended up kind of talking, watching the Kings game. I hope they don't out me on that. I even got all excited when the Kings scored. Okay, here we go with Pittsburgh going up here against the Flyers in this one. The Penguins are $1.30 favorite or so, and the total 6.5. Under 20 in this one. Pittsburgh has been a real solid under of late. They've gone under in 7 of their last games. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two games have gone under. Usually a pretty close series, of course, with these two teams. But the Penguins have been, probably the better team of late. But Philadelphia has done a nice job covering puck lines and making them close games here. And Philadelphia, they're getting the goal and a half. They're pretty strong as a puck line underdog so far. A lot of games, they get the puck line a lot. They're 15-5 on the puck line. Pittsburgh 5-9 is a puck line favorite, but obviously would have to lay a big price in order to consider that here. And let's see if you guys have anything on this one, because I'm probably just going to take the Flyers again. And hello to Salty. Thank you again, my friend, for all your support and all your great comments here and joining us. It's been a great addition to Team Steam. And I'll take the Flyers tonight against the Penguins in the rivalry game. I'm warming up to the Flyers a little bit this season. I like to make a lot of fun of them, but obviously they're doing pretty okay here, I would say, at this point. They have basically the same record, a little bit better record than Pittsburgh at this point. Darren says take Philly. I like the total in this one, so I'm not gonna. With the NBA in game and NBA in season and the NFL kind of on an equal basis, I like the hockey card too. You're going to get a nice card from me tonight. It's going to have some hockey plays for sure, and they're probably going to be totals. Check out Handicapper Leaderboard 2.0. For my record on NHL totals, it's easily selectable. You can check NHL. You can pull down the totals here. Make sure you look at the my long-term record on that, of course. Salty said he did go under already this morning. Looks like Sharps are kind of on the under here in this one. And like I said, you do have, teams are definitely going under, Salty, right? I mean, the Flyers have been a total under of late. They've gone under, I think, in 9 of their last 10. They're also 7-13 to the under as an underdog, and the Penguins have gone under in 7 of their last 10. The Stars are going to take on the Lightning here today, and they're a road favorite. Probably $1.22 at Bovada, $1.12 right now at Circa. So maybe this number's a little high, but I was kind of leaning to the Stars. So I just might leave it up there right now and just kind of roll with a little bit steeper line. Hey, maybe it'll go up. I think everybody's kind of hot on the Stars at this point. Seems like they've done pretty well. On the road. We're looking for these teams that can kind of win on the road, and I think the Stars starting to look to be one of them. So I think I don't know. Pardon me, if I can call it value necessarily at $1.25. In fact, I think I'm laying probably. Well, like I said, you could get in for $1.12 I believe, at Circa right now. But how about Dallas on the road? 8-1 so far on the road this season, straight up. That's pretty impressive. They're also 13-7 so far as a favorite. So I'm going to have to take Dallas, I think, here in this one. Looking at the total here, you have, Tampa Bay certainly has been going over most of the season. They are 8-4 to the over as an underdog. Dallas has had a few unders here right of late. Oh no, they went over in that last game against Tampa because it was 8-1, so you do have the big revenge factor here. Remember, that was at Dallas. You guys already commenting about that possibly? Salty says Tampa is not scoring after uh, Dallas beat up on them 8-1. I forgot about that because the scoring just kind of went off there after a while in that game. I think I'd forgotten all about it. Darren says Dallas and under. Okay. I'm going to take Dallas here. I like Dallas. I kind of wanted to use Dallas as a premium here, but I'm going to go with them on the show as a road favorite. All right. And I think you guys are. OG Double. Hello, OG Double. Let's introduce the next game and start with OG Double because awesome to have OG Double here. It's the Hurricanes and the Jets. And I don't know if I've met you, OG, or if you've commented before or just been a listener and finally popped in. I maybe have seen you. I'm not sure, but man, it's awesome because you got a great call here. OG Double says take the over in this one. Go over the 6 goals with Kashetkov and Hellebuck in there today. Thank you, OG. And I like your avatar. I'm going to blow it up here so I can try to see what it is. Oh, okay. Is that an album cover? I don't know. Maybe it's a popular one and I'm just old. So let me know on that. Looks really cool. All right. Anyways, let's talk about the game here with the Hurricanes and the Jets and another road favorite here. The first 4 games all featured road favorites here today in this one. And for me, I don't know. Maybe I'll be on another road favorite here. Is what it feels like. Oh, let me bring up the odds again. Thank you again to OG Double. Where's that? There it is. All right. Yeah. So. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of pressure to the over in this one, and well, if I'm gonna, look to take this game over, I might just have to leave it at 6.5 under 25 at this point. I know there are still plenty of 6 overs out there. I'm showing Bovada 6 over 20, but I am showing Circa 6.5 under 20. I'm showing DraftKings 6.5 under 18. Bet Online 6.5 under 23. FanDuel 6.5 under 22. So plenty of 6.5s there. And well, I do like the over in this one with Carolina and Winnipeg. There's not a lot of trends necessarily. In fact, Winnipeg's kind of been an under, especially when they're an underdog, but they are at home here. There are just 3-7 to the under as an underdog, but just seeing a lot of pressure here to the over of late, and might not be my stronger play of the two. Maybe I do like the side. The lean is to Carolina. Whether or not it makes it as a premium, I'll just say it remains to be seen. I'm going to take the over here. I've got OG Double. My first timer here, or at least making a play, so why not? Airplane Boob, nice to see you. Thank you, OG. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, Perky, I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna lay it for the reasons that I gave. Steven, I think, is talking about this game and going under. So Yeah, if I can get, I'm gonna make sure Stephen right. I'm on 6 over, even if I'm on like 6 over 30 or something. It's a free play. I'm not gonna give out the total necessarily here, but pretty impressed by the steam that's kind of been popping up here last couple hour or two on the over. I think we're starting to see some sharp action there. So if I'm already leaning that way, I'm gonna probably go that way. Right, salty. I'd butt cheeks wouldn't last too long in here. Oh, OG double, that must be some of your artwork then. Hey, hit me up in the Discord. Have you seen my thumbnail for this show? It's awful. I made it myself, and it's terrible. And I'm not very good at that type of stuff. Tony used to make them all, and he's busy. So I actually could go in there and I need to do a better thumbnail. Oh, thank you, OG. Uh, hit me up, man. Give me. I need a new thumbnail. I know you're busy. All right. Something that makes me look handsome. All right. And give me the over here. Let's talk about the Montreal Canadiens, shall we? My Canadians tonight taking on Seattle with Sam in goal here against Grubauer. And in this one, you got, like I said, another road favorite here with the Kraken on the road. I kind of want to, you know, take Montreal here in this one. Seattle has not been that great on the road. Montreal, they've made some money here. They've made some money at home for sure. And let's take a look at some numbers here, at least in this one. We got for right now. Um, Let me see. Seattle has been going over in 7 of their last 8 road games. They're also 6-1 to the over as a favorite. Of course, we are dealing with a pretty stiff number here on this total at 6.5. In fact, I believe it's starting to get juiced up here to the over. Let's see. Well, I think we can still call it just 6.5 flat. And uh, the one thing about, like I said, with Seattle, with all those over trends, well, Montreal has gone over in 7 of their last 10 games at home. Now, they have been on the road a little bit where they were playing some unders. So they've actually gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. But again, they were on the road there. Seattle's been covering puck lines, man, on the road for sure. So far this season, they are 10-4 uh, on the puck line, but just 3-4 on the puck line as a favorite. So that one shows that Seattle is, staying in there when they're underdogs, but maybe not when they're favorites. And here you have a Montreal team that's 13-8 as a puck line underdog. Whatever the case may be, I'm just going to take Montreal to get it done here tonight. I'll take them on the money line too. My Canadians, come on, Montreal, you could beat these guys right now. And look, Seattle, yeah, they've come back down to earth a little bit, I think, since last season. And we know Montreal is off to a pretty decent start for them. So, all right. Berkey, maybe I should have a cocktail on that show, but oh, thanks, Double. That'd be fun. That'd be cool, man. I don't know what I could do for you, but I'd do something, send you some coffee or some Amazon or something like that. I want some cool stuff, man. But have you seen my thumbnail? It's bad. And Stephen may be here taking the Canadians. Yeah, and to me the price probably at $1.85, just a little bit too high. So I'll take the money line with my Montreal Canadiens. And double OG. I'm over in the Discord. If you go to the very, very top, or maybe I could just do it again. Let me see if I copied and pasted anything. this is where you can find me a little bit and have a conversation if you're interested. So, all right, Mike's on the Kraken here, and Solo says he likes. Oh, that's another pick there. So, okay, give me the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Now I put picks over there. Anybody else interested in the Discord? I put other picks in there. I think we hit one or two, and of course, uh, Hernan, Gerardo, Fernando, and the rest of you as well. I just to say that because they are so generous to us with, especially Gerardo, with those football plays, those soccer plays. Every day, I mean, it will keep you in action. And of course, today, being Monday, we got some domestic league action today with in Serie A, we have Torino and Atalanta. In Spain, we've got Celta Vigo and Cadiz today. Portugal also today with uh, Sporting going against Vicente. And there's an FA Cup game too today. Neat. That'll be Ramsgate at Wimbledon. So that should be fun. And all right, we've got a couple more here. Capitals and Coyotes. In this one, the Coyotes are favored at home. All right, now we're talking. Got a home favorite here, $1.25, $1.20, $1.16 at Circa, $1.25 at Bovada with the Coyotes in this one against the Caps. Hey, Caps have been pretty all right on the, getting money here on the road a little bit, but I don't know. I'm just so fond of this Arizona team. I've been liking what they've been doing so far. Look, and I'm the guy. I'm still backing the Capitals. I think the proof is in the results. I'm not saying they're going to even improve on this. Maybe they'll come back, but I don't think it's necessarily fluky that they've come again. I mean, to me, it sounds like I'm hearing from experts that are telling me, that it's all a fluke and all that. I use a lot of computer numbers and a lot of metrics and a lot of analytics. So maybe I would get, you know, persuaded by those that I trust the computer more than the analyst to a certain extent. So I've been on Washington here, maybe more so than the average guy. But I think I want to go, or the average player. But I think I want to go with the Coyotes here in this one. And maybe no picks from you here just yet. And it's close for me. In fact, I was actually preferring if the line, was closer to a pick 'em, but I'm not sure that's going to end up being the case. And I'm going to take the Coyotes tonight. I really like the total in this one, and it's probably going to make the premium card. And you see, Darren says, "Why do they lose to the Cat?" I don't know if they've been the better team, Darren. I think that's what um, they haven't met yet this season, so I'm not too concerned about it. This is a different Arizona team for the most part. It feels like, and it's the same Caps team for the most part. The one thing that the analysts, are saying that Capitals maybe a little bit of veteran presence that's helped them get off to this type of start. Usually, a veteran team starts slowly and maybe sometimes get better. I don't know. It just to me, I still like the Capitals moving forward, and I'm going to continue to support them if they're making me money. But tonight, I'm going to go with Arizona here at the Mullet, and I'm concerned about right. We've talked about the Capitals and their, sometimes their struggles on offense a little bit. That might end up being the case here tonight. Capitals are 3-6 to the under on the road. Arizona's been a pretty strong over at home, but they are just a 50-50 proposition to the total of late last 10 games or so. Oh, okay. One more for you here. The Blues and the Golden Knights at home. The Golden Knights against the Blues. Well, look, Blues have been fine. This one feels a little bit tougher here today. I don't know if 185, huh? Well, might be reasonable, but does feel like it might be more of a spot for Vegas for me tonight. It's going to be hard to probably have to lay a goal and a half here. That's probably the way I'll go. I don't know if I could try the Blues in this with this game. VGK and under here for Steven. And just getting the is Bitcoin blowing up again this morning? Jeez, I'm getting the updates here. All right. St. Louis has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games on the road, and Vegas has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. So Mike does say it might be an over, and I don't know if he's talking about this one or the last one actually, but I feel like this is going to be a Vegas. I feel like 3-1, 4-1 type of situation. I like Vegas tonight. I'll lay the puck and a half. Well, let me see here. Well, I'll lay the puck and a half on the show, and I think you're fine though on a money line, $1.85, $1.95. I don't necessarily mind that, or you could do regulation win here, says Salty. Again, when I give out a money line, a puck line, it's all going to be relative, right? I like Vegas, so I'm going to like them in regulation. I'm going to like them -1. I'm going to like them +1. It's just however you feel comfortable with it. And you can judge my strength here. It's a free play, right? It's not going to be my premium, but um, I do like this tonight. I'm going to take Vegas. Yeah, could be a 1 goal game, especially if I've got it low scoring. Maybe it's 3-2 or something. But okay, thanks for joining me on that hockey preview today. We do well. I can admit that. And thanks for hanging around for the hockey. I've just got one game I was going to look at in college basketball tonight because the only one, a conference game here on a very, very light card of just 6 games, I believe. So, all right, here we go. Okay, I got you. I just want to look one thing up here. Okay, all right. Iowa and Purdue. Purdue a 13-point favorite tonight against Iowa. We just saw Purdue. We had Northwestern, remember, on the show. We said, but did we even cover that on the recap the next day? If not, I'm going to do it right now. Remember, we called Northwestern on the money line in that game against Purdue, and they looked good. They were, there was no question they were probably going to hang in that game when if you were watching it right from start to finish. It just felt like Northwestern was live. They match up well with Edey and kind of made life a little bit tough for them a little bit. So it did feel like, Purdue, they've got, could we end up with the same Purdue in a way, like expectations high? And just going to end up falling short somehow, somewhere, some way down the line. So I don't know, but it does feel like this one against Iowa, they might be able to roll something here. But man, 13 points in a conference game feels like, and look at this total 163. And I will say this about the total. Imagine this now. The spread is 13. It's a conference game. I get all this. And yeah, Purdue's pretty spectacular, I guess. But you look at, I don't know, I'll look at the Ken Palm too. And look, okay, yeah, they scored 88 against Northwestern. That went to overtime. They scored 99 against Texas Southern. Pretty weak team. Maybe the one you could compare it to with Iowa, right? So Purdue played Xavier pretty good team at home, number 40 in the KenPom, and um, Iowa's 37th in the KenPom rankings currently. If you don't use KenPom, that's fine. Let me know what you use. Do you use Do you use your own? I actually use a conglomerate of all the rankings. What I do is I put in the computer a few different, including the KenPom, the Sagarin, the Massey, and a combination of and my own. And then I change my own, and then I let the computer do the work. It's kind of like what like the modeling thing, but I don't subscribe to it. I don't let the model punch out the winner and just go with it every time. If you do that, you're going to end up betting like what are you going to do? Take Purdue every single time, or whatever your highest ranked team. You don't think they're ever going to lay an egg, so you're trying to judge when the teams are going to lay an egg. But you got to start somewhere. And in this one, you'd be starting with looking at the spread of this game and then figuring out what the final score would be. Um, you know, uh, KenPom, what does it say in KenPom? 92-79. Well, there it is. It's right there. That's 161 points, whatever, that here's the thing, you can't be a KenPom capper. I just kind of refer to the KenPom a little bit. That's what the bosses, that's what the general manager here likes. He says, I want you to, look at KenPom. And I do. I mean, I'd already, I know I've already, into him. I'm all been into ratings all my whole life. But do you really think Iowa here in this situation? What my point being, do you really think Iowa in this situation is going to be able to keep up and score as many as 75, 76, 77 points in this game in order to try to cover a spread? I mean, KenPom had a 79. Do you really think they're going to get 79 points in this one? I don't know about that. So maybe they'll still be able to get the money. Maybe Purdue will end up blowing out Iowa here. Iowa's not, awful at this point. They are 5-2 coming into this game. So conference game, I'm going to trust Iowa here to hang in there and get the money. Purdue's awesome. Yes, we know. And they're coming off a loss. So I guess they'll be mad or whatever, but they're still playing the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa's not, a terrible team. And believe me, all the write-ups from all the people are like, this is going to be through the roof. This is actually, take the over here. I don't know. I'm just not sure Iowa scores enough here on the road, but you can't argue the fact that these two teams are just going massively over. Purdue's 6-2 to the over so far. They're 3-1 to the over at Mackey. Iowa's 5-2 to the over, 2-0 to the over on the road so far. And Purdue, pretty good with the numbers. They're 3-1 at Mackey against the spread. Iowa talked about their straight up records so far at 5-2. They're just 3-4 so far against the spread, but they're 2-0 against the spread on the road. They got a win and a cover at Seton Hall, and they also covered double digits. They covered 12 points at Creighton in an 8-point loss. Now, Purdue, is better than Creighton, but not by a whole lot, right? Creighton's pretty good. So give me Iowa plus the points, and that's the show. Yeah, me too, Stephen. Me too. They're going to score 80, whether they cover or not. They're probably going to score 80. You can go look at every preview. I read content. I read the previews from guys across the street, guys at this website, that app, this and that. Everyone's talking of this game being probably 90-80 or something like, and maybe it will, but I don't know. It's a conference game. Look, there's a difference between a conference game in December and a conference game in January and February. Especially when it comes to the crowd. Now, it's not like Purdue. It's not like it's going to be an empty gym or anything, because Purdue is a big time program and this team is awesome. So it'll be big crowd. It'll be loud, but because of the way the student, the way it works out, the, you know, it's more of it's like more of a family type of crowd more than, student. It's big. Purdue's big. We know that, but I'll just caution the games before Christmas, when you start to get into conference play a little bit, not talk about some tournament scene when you're out there and there's either nobody there, just the TV cameras are there, or teams that don't have a home court advantage. There's a home court advantage here for Purdue, but the crowd is just a tiny bit less rabid than come January. All right. That's going to do it for the morning steam. Thank you for joining me as always. Did we forget anything? You want to talk about anything? You got any requests on these other games? I'll, give you another pick or two if you want. But other than that, I mean, East Carolina's playing. My guys are out there. If they're out there, going to go to the game tonight against Eastern Shore. Catch me tomorrow here, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, with more morning steam. We'll preview the other NBA in-season tournament games, and we'll talk about other action, big NHL card, college basketball as well. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. Go over to Tony'sPicks.com, use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 20% off all of our premium pick packages, including mine. Mike says, "Can we do Christmas?" Hey, Mike, I'll give this to you. I'll give this to you as just a little. It's not a bonus. It's not a pick or anything, but uh, these two games. And I've even looked at the current line on the games, but I will give you this because I have it up on my screen right now just by default because I'm looking at the NBA Steam for today. And by the way, both games got steamed to the over, and I'm just disagree with the sharps here in that one. But Mike, their two Christmas Day games or two of the games have taken steam already, and it wasn't exactly today. Back in September, the Bucks Knicks game on Christmas got steamed at 221 to the over. And also the Bucks and the Knicks game, or I'm sorry, the Celtics and the Lakers game got steamed over 236.5. So, and that was on November 1st. So on September 27th, they steamed the over in that game. These are the only reason I tell you this right now because, and anybody who doesn't know, the Christmas lines are released early, like before the season, and this was before the season. But sharps moved on it enough to trigger the alert that the totals were getting steamed. All that really says, though, is that they thought the bookmakers were putting it too low at the time. I mean, there's not a scientific handicap to it other than the sharps must have thought that the lines makers were making a mistake with such an early pick. So, all right, that's all I got. Thanks you, Jimmy. All right, thanks, everybody. Catch you tomorrow. More morning steam for Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott.